Hello, my name is Emily Steele. I'm the Adult and Digital Services Librarian at McCracken County Public Library. We are going to go through a Grow with Google class today called Digital Skills for Everyday Tasks. This is what we're going to go through today. We will look at something in Google Sheets, which is a spreadsheet. We'll do a to-do list. In Google Docs, we will create a meeting agenda, and then in the slideshow, we will do an update presentation. So to do this, you should already have a Google account. If you don't already, there is a recorded program called Getting Started with Google that will walk you through this. You need to do that first. If you already have something like a Microsoft account or an Apple account, then you can log into that and find out what tools you have available in that. You will have a word processing tool and a spreadsheet tool, and I'm pretty sure a slideshow tool in both of those. So if you prefer to use that, you can do that. If you do have a Google account, to start off, you'll sign in. You'll go to the corner of the page where there's a sign in. You'll put in your Gmail address and your password. Once you have signed into your Google account, you have access to the sheets, the docs, and the slides that we're going to work on today. And you also have your photos, your Chrome, and your Gmail. If you have an Android phone, you'll recognize the icon for the photos. Probably that's your photo gallery on your phone. You may have a phone that uses a different one, but you probably have that installed. So if you are using that, it's backing up your phone's photos, and this is how you can get to them. And Chrome is a very popular browser. You have probably seen that before. And then Gmail is an email application that Getting Started with Google shows you. You're going to access Google Drive. That is a way where all of your online documents are saved for you. Whenever you open up Google Docs or Google Sheets, it is automatically saving what you do in Google Drive. So in the top corner of Google, there's a little grid. When you click on that grid, there is Google Drive and all the other apps that are available. To start with, we're going to do a to-do list in Google Sheets. From Drive, you can start a new document or sheet or spreadsheet, slideshow. You can also go straight to the Google Sheets app from the same list that you got Drive from. So there's two different ways of getting there. Once you start a new one, you go to Google Sheets and you're going to choose a template. A template is a spreadsheet that has already been begun for you. The first one that they choose there is a to-do list. So they've already got some formatting set up and you just sort of fill it in. This is what it looks like. It has this typed in. It says type anything into this column A to complete an item. What you'll do is you'll just double click that and type over it, whatever it is that you want to put on your to-do sheet. You can change the order later if you want to. And you'll put the date that you want to get it done. It already has this checklist set up for you, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is what it looks like while you are typing and changing the date. As soon as you click on one of these cells, the text comes up here. And this up here is where you can edit it. You can add columns and you can add rows. The columns are the up and down. So you click on a letter and it will highlight a whole column, and the rows are numbered going side to side. In this, they have added a column that will be the name of the person who is doing the task. You can change this color. It was green, they've made it blue. This can be useful to make it easier to understand, to bring people's attention up to the top, or you can do something like every other line be a different color. There's a lot you can do with the color. You can also change the font size, the style, and the color of your font. They've made this up here white that makes it pop out better against the blue. The way they're doing that, this tiny little icon is much easier to see when you have it up on a whole screen. It looks like a paint bucket that's dripping out a little bit of paint. That is how you change the background color. When you click on that, it'll show you all the different colors available. The A with a colored line under it, right now the colored line is white. If you click on that, you can change the color to anything. The default color is always black, and usually you'll leave it on that, but you can change it. And this word right here is the name of the font. If you clicked this down arrow, it would let you see all the other options, and 10 is the size of the font. You can find your sheet in Google Drive by clicking the Drive tab, and you'll find your updated file there. Another thing to remember is it is saving it for you. It will go on saving it. So you don't have to worry about if you click out of it and you forgot to save it, or if your computer dies, there's already a saved version there. So that is a crash course in Sheets. They are really useful for several different things. I like to keep a budget in one. Any kind of complicated list can be good. You can have lists in different columns and you can make them different colors. There's a lot you can do with the spreadsheet, but right now we're going to move on to Google Docs. And you can start that in the same way that you started Sheets. You can go to Google Drive, click New, and then choose Docs. You can open up a template, and we're going to open up one called Meeting Notes. So this is what it looks like, and the text is just filler text. Like if you didn't want to include attendees, you could double click that and type over it, or you could delete it. You can add to it, you can take away from it, you can type over it, you can change anything on it just like you did in the spreadsheet. To format the text, this is going to show you how to do that. You just select it, and then you take your mouse up to that bar across the top, and just like in the spreadsheet, the A with a letter under it, change the font color. You can change the font, the size of the font. You could make some of it bold. You can make italics. There's really a lot that you can do with it. Inserting a comment can be really useful if you are working with someone. If you make a comment, it puts a second margin over here. And the good thing about this is you can answer it, or you can just ignore it if it's something that doesn't really need to be answered. If you wanted to print this, you would have the option of printing it without that comment. And you can have a sort of a conversation going on this side that doesn't affect the text of the original document unless you want to make changes based on a comment. So you can click on the comments and they'll pop up, or you can create new comments. If you type the plus sign and do an email address, you can send it to someone. You can share this file with others. This is something that you can also do with the spreadsheets or the slideshows. You can do it in different ways. If you click share in the top upper right corner, you can change the access level. Editing means that someone can go in and they can change everything. They could write over your whole document if they needed to. Another thing you can do is they can comment. If you choose that, they can add as many comments as they want on the side, but as I said, you can use those or ignore them. Or you can just let them view it. If you think that this is the final version and you just want them to see it, you can choose that they can only view it, and then they can't make any changes, even a comment. And that's this little thing that looks like a pen with the down arrow. If you click the down arrow, that's what this is. So you can put someone's email address there, and that will send it to them. This up here, get a shareable link. That way, if you don't want to send it from this, maybe you want to use a different email, or you're not sure who you're going to send it to, you can get a link And you can copy and paste that link into whatever message you want to send. So if you are using this, you hit send at the bottom, and then it goes off to the person to the whatever email you put up here. So you can use that share access with different files and different groups. And you can have different people having access to different things, even though it's all in Drive. If you share your agenda with someone, they're not going to have access to anything else in your Drive. So that is a really quick crash course in Google Docs. There's really quite a lot you can do with it. Really, once you know that it's there and you know just the basics of how to open it, you can play with it and you can figure a lot of things out like that. We're going to run on ahead into Google Slides. If you have ever used PowerPoint, Google Slides would be pretty familiar for you. And again, it's opening up the same way. You go to Google Drive, click New. This time you choose Slides instead of Sheets or Docs. And then you're going to choose a template, and the template is Status Report. Here you can see all the slides over here. You can click around in there, reorder them. And of course, this that I'm showing you right now is a Google slideshow. You can change the title up here where it says Status Report. You can change that as the title of the document, and that's the same way you'll change a title in Docs or Sheets. And you can type over anything in here. And you can select different layouts so that every slide isn't exactly the same. It makes it a little more visually interesting. So as you can see, this one is half color, half white. This one has different columns. This one's a big blank. This is the title slide. Oops, not too far. Then you'll add visuals, and they're showing you on the right-hand side the different things you can put in. Pictures that you can use. You can also do things like graphs. So if you use that, that's going to be what the slide looks like, and you can type over it or move it around. And you can share the presentation, and you've already seen this. It's just like the other one. So your next step, if you want to go farther with this, all you want to do is log in, go to Google Drive, or you can go to docs.google.com, sheets.google.com. It's hard for me to say that. And you can just start a blank one, or you can open up all the different templates, which will give you good ideas of different things you can do. There is a template for a calendar in Sheets that really opened my eyes to what you can do visually with the spreadsheet. They had text in lots of different sizes. Some of it was going sideways. It was really interesting to look at, and just looking at something like that can give you ideas for the future, just of what's possible. There are lots and lots and lots of other Google classes, and we'll have some of them recording and some in person in the library. So if you watch our Google page, you'll be able to see all of our classes and all of the other library virtual programming. And also, if you go to Applied Digital Skills with Google, they have just a ton of information there. So many different classes that you can watch in their video classes, and they cover all of these Google apps. Oops, I went too far again. These are some other apps that are available. We talked about slides. Google Meet is a way of it's like FaceTime. You can do something like you can have a meeting like Zoom or like Microsoft Teams. A way for you to talk to someone with video. Google Calendar is something that you'll have if you have a Google account. If you have an Android phone that's got the calendar already on there. Sites is a way to create a site or a work portfolio, and then Forms is a way to create surveys. And there's a lot of other apps that you have access to. This is the applied digital skills. I already mentioned that, but this is what it looks like. They have all these lessons. Some of it is designed more for school children, but you can do a filter by audience and look for everything from like high school up or adult learners, and it will filter out some of this stuff for kids. And even if it's something that's set up more for a classroom, you can go through and watch the videos on your